Riven, the sequel to Myst. So this game apparently came out in 1997, 4 years later, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. So like Myst, I have an official boxed copy of it with original CDs and everything. I've opted to go ahead and just image those CDs and mount them all at once because while I'd be up for an authentic disc swapping experience, this emulator's a little iffy with its CD-ROM driver, and I think it's just going to make more sense to have them all here, conveniently mounted in place now. I hope this works. I have it installed. I launched this once. Let's see what happens. Setup, sure, let's click this. Monitor adjustment, nope, don't need that. Can't see symbol, whatever. Okay. Alright, here's some scenes in the game, presumably. Let's continue. I clicked. I didn't click good, I guess. This is fine. Let's not worry about it. Play Riven. Hold on. I can get to a menu. I do want best transitions. That carries over. This is fine. Don't need this. This is great. Don't need that. All right. Play Riven. Let's go. Ah, shoot. Do you not understand? Okay, hang on. But maybe I can just say yes and it'll understand. Searching for disk. I didn't test this far. It's trying. Maybe I will have to do some disk swapping. Yeah. Okay, let me figure out how to get through this initial puzzle. Alright, so first of all, if I only have Riven Disk 2 mounted, does it understand that? Or is this way of mounting disks just incompatible? Play Riven. Play Riven. Insert Riven Disk 2. Okay, so that's actually good. I have an alternate way to do this, which might work better, possibly. Let's try that alternate way. Alright, well, Plan B is not working. Let's try Plan C, actually swapping disks. So I'm starting this with... Oh, wait, hang on. There's my cursor. Starting this with Riven Disk 1 actually in here. I'm choosing Disk 1 because I want to make sure that this swap actually works. This is going to be real important. Okay, great. It ejected my drive. Maybe this will be fine. Performing disk swap. Alright, let's get used to this then, if this is how I'm going to be playing this game. This also has a Windows version, but it's for very old Windows. Does not run in Windows 10. Unsurprisingly, it's made for Windows 95. That's 85 more than Windows 10, so of course it won't run. My version's way too old. Alright, so disk 2. Looks like I need to get things in a more convenient position so I can swap quicker. Alright, I hear it reading the disk. I'm going to wait a moment. Click OK. Oh, wait, it figured it out. Alright, this is how we're playing. Works for me. Red Orb, who's that? Oh, a division of Rotorwood Software. It told me as soon as I asked the question. This is a weird resolution. This is supposed to be... No, this is... this makes sense. I'm just looking at it weird. Alright, I know a Scion logo when I see one. Uh-huh. So again, I've seen almost nothing of this game. You know, I had it. I think my siblings played it, and I watched them a little bit, but I remember, like, the first minute of game, and what I remember is probably super distorted. Hey, Atris! We're right back here! Direct continuity.
Returned. I need your help.
Oh, you're so quiet.
There's a great deal of history that you should know. But I'm afraid that I must continue my writing. Here. Most of what you'll need to know is in there.
All right.
Keep it well hidden.
Keep it well hidden, you say.
For reasons you'll discover, I can't send you to Riven with a way out. But I can give you this.
All right.
It appears to be a linking book back here to Dunny. But it's actually a one-man prison. You'll need it, I'm afraid.
All right.
To capture Gan.
To capture what? Gan, did he say?
Once you've found Catherine, signal me, and I'll come with a linking book to bring us back.
Okay, how do I signal?
There's also a chance, if this all goes well, that I might be able to get you back to the place that you came from.
All right, here we go. Right, yeah, I just kind of fell into mist and was kind of trapped there. That is true. I didn't realize the continuity was this direct, like literally picking up from the last scene to the last game. Alright, I'm here, somewhere. Things are still happening. I don't quite have a cursor yet. I kind of do, but also kind of... No? Am I supposed to? Well, it hides itself in the center, so I think I'm waiting. Somebody's here.
Yo? Feriaje. Kakaware po. Modugo po me po. Tagema. Rekoa. Tagema. Su rekoa.
Tagematsu eboa?
Misirapo. Misirapo. Umutika boku wa nai. Misirapo. Umutika boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Misirapo. Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai. Boku wa nai.
Oh hey, that's the trapping book. Okay, so he's Atris's target. Got it. Is it already working? I guess so. Oh geez. What? Alright. And that's about as much as I remember. Ooh. Okay. As soon as my cursor comes back, I'll try doing stuff, but it is still quite hidden. I mean, I can try clicking. I'll try clicking. I think nothing happened. I still hear things. Whoa. Alright, so lever permanently jammed that way. Somebody may be on my side, let me out. I am trapped. Okay, there, cursor, finally. I don't suppose I can change, well, no, I already looked at the options. There's no volume balance, we'll just have to deal with what it is. Alright, I'm somewhere. I did put it on best transitions, right? I did not. Let's do that. Ooh, okay, that's, fine. Alright, so you jammed something in there. Is that what I was in? Ooh, yes. Okay. Okay, these, now for mist, best made sense. Let's go with normal and see how that does. Alright, 5-button combination lock, maybe. Alright, click at the top and menu pops up. Nothing here. Alright, let's try to follow the friend. That's like a giant sword or something. Okay. So yeah, at the end... Oh, well, there he is. At the end of Myst, Atris did say something about fighting a greater foe, so I think this is the game where that story is happening. So, he wants me to rescue Catherine, who's perhaps here somewhere. Well, I could have gone in there, but instead I rotated. Okay. What did I get myself access to? Little tiny peephole. Beetle. Writing. 5-pointed star on door. Beetle. Okay, I knew the constellation for that at one point. Yeah, so by 1997, a Mac was able to play QuickTime movies larger than, like, little tiny square in the middle of the screen. So full screen animations. Yeah, so this game, again, comes on 5 CDs. It's nearly 3 gigabytes in 1997. That was a lot of data. Okay, Beetle again. Presumably this room just has like 5 sides to it, so press that a few more times to get all the way back around. I'm not sure why this is relevant. Should I be watching my back? This seems like a dangerous spot. And here I am, just looking at a wall, not watching what's happening outside. Okay, maybe it's just 3 rotations. Let's go in and see. Alright. Beetles, writing. That's not a script I can read. It's almost Arabic, but not quite. Yeah, almost Arabic, but not quite. Similar in style, at least. This one has a pull chain. Oh, neat! That's super cool. Okay. Appears to be a depiction of probably Atris writing worlds in his books, or maybe his predecessor, or maybe just somebody else who knows the art. Alright. Beetle has to fold up before I go away. Is this the same Beetle? I couldn't tell where I went. This is the same Beetle. Okay. Do they all have the same thing inside? No. Okay, same character, presumably Atris, like a book halo. Sun and moon. People of the world worshipping him. So is Atris a deity figure here in this world? Still can't be certain that that's him, but I mean, it seemed like him. He was wearing white clothes, right? So... okay, how many beetles are in this room? This all kind of looks the same. Okay, so starting here, just right of the door. So there's writing in the books. So I do this. I see this scene. I looked at that one. I'm going to go over here. Is this the same beetle I just looked at or a different one? This will be the same one. Okay. Click right. Click the right beetle. Someone else. This is a different character. Bringing down fire and stuff. Plunging Atris into something like the hole that I fell into to get to the Isle of Mist, maybe. Alright, I pressed right. And that'll be the beetle I was just looking at. So new one here. Distribution of texts. That's all I can really get from this. Lots of people. Perhaps coordinating a search for Atris or something? Is that classic CD loading? If I could get the mounted disk image thing to work, then we wouldn't see that, I guess. But right now it's not. This might be some kind of like copy protection measure, which is fair enough. People worshipping the book, or maybe not. Maybe burning the book. Or, okay, so many trees chopped down. A fire right there. Hand placed on book. Book does not appear to currently be on fire. I don't know what this is. A big, like, wood chipping device, maybe? Maybe. So trees get cut down to produce books. Alright, well there's some lore going on. And that should take me all the way around the room. Yes, okay. So that's the way I came. That's some writing I can't read. That's some writing I can't read. That's another way to go, but it's closed. And it's probably an elevator of some sort. Here's this symbol. This is going to show up a lot. Okay. Does this mean anything to me? Whoa. That transition is a little funny around the pillars and stuff. Okay. Don't know what that means right now. Let me continue following the resistance fighter or whatever who freed me. If possible. And just kind of look around. So I don't even know like what the structure of this game is. Myst had a very clear structure where, you know, go to age, get page, come back, insert page, do a final thing, and that's pretty much it. Man, look at that animation. It looks impressive after having seen Myst. Just like, whoa, it takes up the whole screen. Okay, do I really want to sit on that chair? Heck yeah, I do. Let's save the game first. Riven folder. Let's make a new folder. For all I know, maybe it's possible to die in this game. I actually have no idea. That's a microphone. I recognize this from the salinity gauge. Okay, am I broadcasting now? Something was happening. I think I wanted to sit there for longer and something, maybe. There are these two windows here. Whoa, something... What's this? What is that? There's a book now. That must be my inventory. Oh, check it. Here's something I can read. Okay. While sitting on this possibly death trap of a chair, let's read this in complete silence. 87610. They held for more than 30 years, but the corrections I made to Riven have finally failed. The island has resumed the familiar pattern of decay that is the hallmark of my father's work. I must now race to implement this new patch before it's too late. I only hope that my revised theories are sound. Let's say 6 days later. That's probably the format. Revisions to Riven completed. There are still a number of minor adjustments which need to be made, but the basic corrections have been entered and should be working. Something's not right. I've been monitoring the instruments for several hours now, but have thus far observed no change. It's possible that I've made an error, though I've checked my entry against my pre-notation and can find no discrepancy. I've not had a rest in nearly 3 days, so it may be that I'm just not seeing it. If the fault is with my foundational assumptions, however, perhaps after a short rest I will see something. 2 days later. Success! It appears that my repairs have been effective after all. The gateway image has become noticeably clearer, and although it is impossible to know this with absolute certainty, the island seems to have quieted itself. Just a few more weeks of work and I should be free at last to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. The past 8 months have left me little time to think, to devise a strategy for getting her out of there. I've received no sign from her in all that time. I am afraid that... No, I must assume that she is all right, lest my fears undermine my efforts to bring her back. Changed his mind between here and here. 1 day later. I did not create the Age of Riven. Unlike my father, I have never presumed to have such power. And yet the future of all those who live there has fallen into my hands. So far I've managed to read the page before it turns. The island continues to appear stable, and I would like to believe that I have saved a dying world. But the theories of one individual cannot support the lives of real people indefinitely. I must get everyone off of Riven as soon as possible. The problem is now gain. Okay, so that's what you were saying. I'll never be able to rescue Kath. Is he the one who's like dead and disposed of in that ditch there? I'll never be able to rescue Catherine and relocate the islanders if he is still the man he once was. I haven't seen, or did like somebody else take my trap that was meant for someone much more important? Maybe. I haven't seen him in over 30 years, but his history forces me to assume that he is still a threat. His myopic mission to restore the Diener civilization has left too many innocent cultures. I noticed the similarity between this and Dunny. They're probably the same thing. Has left too many innocent cultures dying in its wake, and would continue to do so were he to once again be free of the confines of Riven, or the Fifth Age, as he coldly titled it. The universe has been safe from his corruptive influence for the last 33 years because no one has been able to leave that age. Ah, right. Can't send me here with a linking book for reasons that will become clear. This must be part of it. The last linking book out of Riven, having been lost in the Star Fissure upon my return to Mist. That was my intention, to maroon my father on Riven by removing all the existing links to other worlds. Is Gain your father? That's not how he pronounced that. I'll have to listen again. And since the art of constructing books has long been lost with the fall of the Diener, he would be trapped there for the remainder of his lifetime and effectively segregated from the countless other worlds that he would have invaded. So, Atreus, not on friendly terms with his father. This seems to be a thing in his family, huh? In effect, this is what we achieved. But the way it fell, however, was no one's ideal. Though the sting of the incident has gradually faded from my memory, the deep pain of the responsibility for what actually came to be has never left me. At the time it all seemed so clear. Gain's destructive path could not be allowed to continue, but it was never my choice that the innocent inhabitants of Riven, who had already suffered so much, would be the ones to pay for it. Enough. To dwell in the past is to die in the present. The situation is not the same as it was then. The knowledge I've acquired in the years since that time has yet to be applied to this problem. 2 more days later. I think I have the solution. Why it did not occur to me sooner, I do not know, unless the idea of it had been pushed out with the thought of my sons. A prison book. Many years ago, during a hunting expedition through the ruins of Diener, I chanced upon a formula for a most unusual type of book. Unfortunately, due to the fact that my father was then in the habit of confiscating my discoveries, I was forced to leave it behind. Years later, however, as part of my efforts to protect the vulnerable worlds linked to in the books in my library, I was pleased to find that I could still recall most of the formula, and with little experimentation quickly succeeded in creating one of these devices myself. The procedure is actually quite simple. By altering key lines of text, but slightly, a normal linking books connection can be partially severed, such that anyone who attempts to use the book will be permanently trapped in the dark void of the link. I've experienced this. That is, unless someone else then uses the book, at which point that person would become trapped, and the first person displaced back into the world. Alright, yeah, so giving extra context to the prison book. This is a very important device in this world, clearly. And also, you can remove some pages and put them elsewhere and not be able to actually touch the thing to swap places with the person in the book. But, like, whoever it was who came to my cell initially was not trapped in that book. He was just, like, killed. The technique can be applied to books that have already been written, changes to the original text being so slight that anyone who is unfamiliar with the code will be unable to detect them. If indeed my father has not changed, what better bait could there be than a book that appeared to be a link back here to Denis? So that man was both much younger and, like, looked nothing like Atreus. That was clearly not his father, the one that I saw. Okay, so next month, some number of days later, don't know how many days are in a month in this date system. Trouble. My nightly analysis of the island's condition has revealed that the tremors have begun again. The pattern, however, is new. The disturbances are the result of the changes I have made. This did not at first concern me, however. Tremors of this type were one of the possible side effects that I had anticipated during this initial phase of the island's readjustment. Still, in order to verify my assumptions, I decided to calculate again, incorporating the new data. The results were not what I expected. The damage to the understructure is more extensive than I realized. I can no longer go to Riven as planned. Catherine, forgive me. So you're sending me in your place because it's super dangerous and you don't want to go? 1 day later. I must act while I still have the time. The signs are barely visible, but there's no question that the island's deterioration is accelerating. Total collapse is imminent unless I can keep ahead, and that is becoming increasingly difficult to do. 2 more days later. With every passing moment, I gain a clearer picture of the incredible chaos that is my father's economy of words. That my father's... 2 pages. I only wanted 1. That my father's economy of words has yielded. Yet it is a dismaying process. The complexity of the problem is overwhelming. There is no end to this. The last few days have all but convinced me that the collapse of Riven is inevitable, and that, at best, I can only strive to delay it now and hope that at some point the island will become stable enough to risk a rescue attempt. A few days later. I think I've come up with a way to subdue the tremors. It will require my exclusive attention for at least a month or 2, so it may be necessary to discontinue these journal entries for a while. So that's why he's so intently writing in his books, because he's making changes to them that are time-sensitive and are attempting to stabilize things. All right, so he can't pull himself out of the books because there's an actual time constraint. Something truly miraculous has happened 6 days later. Beyond all conceivable probability, someone has finally found my lost missed linking book and has freed me from this prison. I immediately realized that this could be the solution to my dilemma, and I believe my mysterious benefactor is willing to assist me. I'm still not sure it can work. The logistics of such a scheme are formidable, but the mere fact that it may now be possible for me to continue my repairs to Riven, and yet proceed with my original intent to find Catherine has given me renewed hope. So I definitely spent at least, looks like 3-4 days with Atris. The last few days have left me little time to work out the remaining problems with sending someone else to Riven. It did occur to me, however, that if a way could be found to signal me once Gain had been captured, it would no longer be necessary to take a real linking book to Riven and risk the possibility of inadvertently releasing Gain. Okay, so he wants to keep Gain. This must be his father. He hasn't explicitly said it, but I think that's clear. Hold on, has he explicitly said it? No, but it's heavily implied. Yeah, so that's the reason he couldn't send a linking book with me, because his father might use it to escape, but I can signal him, then he'll come there with the means to escape. Sure, okay, plan makes sense. The deteriorated state of the gateway image makes the use of a visual signal impossible, but the picture remains a reliable indicator of Riven's condition nonetheless. By measuring and interpreting variations in the noise patterns, I've experienced those too, I am still able to observe basic changes that occur in the age, even though I cannot see them. The problem is that my instruments can only detect changes that occur on a fundamental level, and it seems unlikely that an individual could affect such an elementary change from within an age. The idea may be foolish. Still, there is a known weakness that may be worth investigating, an anomaly that appears as a rift between 2 separate systems, the star fissure. But how, or even if, this fact could be exploited, I cannot say. Sending someone to Riven also means that once I received the signal that they were ready to return, I would have to leave my writing in order to take a real linking book there myself. However, provided my father was safely out of the way, this should take very little time. After that, assuming the island does not incur much damage in my absence, it should then be a relatively simple matter to hold it together long enough for Catherine to return to Riven and evacuate the remaining islanders. Gain must be, super old, because, Atris is not a young man, although maybe aging works differently here. Predetermining a signal without knowing the topography of the island may prove to be impossible. Oh, you've never been here. Oh. And you don't know what it looks like. Oh, okay, got it. Or have you? I'll check back here in a moment. but I'm afraid there can only be one answer to the question of whether or not I should send my friend to Riven with a way out. The potential for failure will be greatly diminished if the prison book is all that is taken there. I'm sure my father is expecting me to bring a linking book to Riven. May he not be disappointed. Okay, last page. Has Atris been to Riven? Or has he only observed it from outside? So now that I've read all that, let's go back and get some more context. Oh, why does it sometimes double-click when I single-click? Hallmark of my father's work. Revisions, number of minor adjustments need to be made. Monitoring the instruments, observed no change. Gateway image has become noticeably clearer, and although it's impossible to know this absolutely seems to have quieted itself. I should be free at last to go there myself and attempt to bring Catherine back. No, he has never been here. Okay, got it. Disk loading. So what was happening in this chair that whole time? Alright, so this is my inventory. Something is loudening. I feel like I'm in, like, I don't know, some kind of gas chamber or something. This sounds like the sound of gas propagating. But, like, nothing's terrible seems to be happening to me immediately. I was able to read a whole book in this relaxing seat. So it quieted down. Alright, I don't know what's going on here. So I'm going to release myself. And can I look at these things? What's this? Huh? A door opened somewhere. Okay, it's a camera. That's a place I have not been yet. But now it's open. Let's hope that's good. So I'm not alone here. It should be noted. There are, like, people, friendly and unfriendly. This I also don't recognize. Here with me, and that's a concern. What's this noise? I am not sure. How did I get here? I had my nose buried in that book for so long, I forgot what was going on outside. I think I came from back there, and now I'm going deeper into the cave that I had entered. Right. Okay, that's the place where I saw the door open. Right here. Alright. Star symbol. Broken stuff. So, it should be noted, I have an inventory now. More than just, like, what fits in my hand. And can only be a page, or a match, or a key, or another kind of page. Okay, right, yeah, stuff's not, like, broken here. These are fruit and flower offerings or something. Okay, this was what was on the right camera. Had no interactions there. Blue button. Something's happening. A large bird flew by. A noise is being made. Oh! That probably wasn't a large bird flying by, that was probably this thing in the distance coming to me. Alright, I summoned a transport. Okay, cool. So I can go places, I can do things. I think I'm going to stop right here. So we got the context for the world, more or less. And yeah, this is how it's going to be. Alright, I'll see you next time to take this and see where it goes.